Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Eagle Public Library. My name is Anne. Today I've got a pretty cool kids craft for us to do. And actually, it's a very fun adult or teen craft too. It's great because we've got Arbor Day coming up in just a couple days on April 30th. And we thought this would be a great craft to do at home to kind of remember Arbor Day and to think about Arbor Day and to celebrate spring as well and to have something pretty cool when you're done. So today's class is a take and make. And if you call us today and let us know you want one of the kits, if we have some left today, then you will be in luck. You can come pick up your kit curbside and off you go. But this one is one that is got some nice, simple materials that you might just have at home too. So if you didn't get one of the take and make kits, you will not be left out. Okay, here we go. Your take and make kit is going to look like this, which is a paper bag, of course. And inside, there's just a couple simple things in there. And it includes 2 sheets of different shades of pink tissue paper. And that's it. That is your whole take and make kit, because your bag is going to be used for the main part of our project. And this is what we're making today. It is a cherry blossom tree made out of a paper bag and the tissue paper. Is that cool? There we go. And I've got some of the little cherry blossoms that have fallen below on the ground down by the roots. So that makes it kind of real too, because you know how those blossoms end up going everywhere in the spring when we get the wind blowing. So I might put a few more cherry blossoms on this tree, but this one's pretty much done. Maybe it's already after some of the wind has blown a few of them off, and then there's some new ones coming. So this is what we're going to make. Let me show you how to make this tree. This is a very cool tree that you could make in the fall as well and put fall colored leaves. Really, this is a cool one for any time of the year. You could put a bunch of white on there for snow. You could put little tiny bits of green for green little buds on there, or you could cover it with green leaves. It makes a neat project. It would be fun even to do out of a larger paper bag. So these are kind of a lunch bag sized paper bag. And we'll get started. Let me show you how to make your very own paper bag, very cool tree. So here's our paper bag. This was the bag your take and make came in. So this one's just folded flat. So once you get your paper out of yours, just fold it back how it was. I have this side that says Eagle. This isn't going to show once we get this done. So it doesn't matter what's on your bag. If you have another bag at home and it has writing on it, it's not going to matter because it's not going to show. So I'm going to flip it over because I made a little bit of a mistake on this first one. I cut too far down to the trunk. So the trunk of my tree isn't very big, but that's okay. I'm going to just say this is a very old tree and it's still blossoming in the spring. So turn yours over so that little flap shows, no writing on this side. You are going to want to have a ruler. I didn't really use a ruler on my first one. I sort of eyeballed it. So if you're good at that, that's awesome. Sometimes I'm not so great at it. So I'm going to take a marker so that you can see where I'm drawing the lines. But you don't have to use a marker. You could use a pencil. Or like I said, if you're really good at eyeballing, then you can eyeball it too, because this doesn't have to be exact. So on this side of the paper, we want to measure down just under this fold, because really that's going to be the bottom of the tree. And that was the mistake I made. I measured all the way down to the bottom, but when you stand this up, this is really the bottom of the bag. So under that fold, we're going to mark halfway down. And it looks like this is 11 inches. So half of 11 is 5.5. We're going to put a little mark right there. Then across the top, you want to put little marks at a 1/2 inch all the way across. So I've got 1/2 inch and then a 1 inch, a 1.5 inch, 2, 2.5 inches, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. And that leaves a 6.5 at the end. So now I've got my little marks where I have measured 1/2 inch across, because we're going to cut this down to this line here and make strips with our paper bag. I think I'm going to draw my line a little bit darker. And if you like to be super precise, and sometimes I do, I would line up your ruler like this, and from that 1/2 inch mark, just draw a line down to that line. And you could do that all the way across if you like to be super, super precise in your cutting. That is a cool idea too. I'm going to do that on a few of them so you can see. So you could do that all the way across. So at those 1/2 inch marks we made, we're going to connect the 1/2 inch to our line here that was at 5.5 inches down. So this is basically what we're going to do now. I'm going to grab the scissors. So hopefully you have a pair of scissors at home. We're going to use the scissors to cut from that top part of the bag where it's open, just down that line till we get to the line we made at the bottom at 5.5 inches. And this is what I mean about being precise with your cutting. That's up to you. I'm sometimes okay at cutting a straight line, but this project, it doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line. And you'll see why in a minute. So I didn't feel like I had to mark all of them. In fact, some of mine are not really very straight right now. So sometimes it is a good idea to be precise, especially in a lot of crafts. You really do want to be precise. Or when you're cooking, you need to be pretty precise. Okay, here we go. We get a couple more strips in there and get them cut all the way down. So now your bag should look like this. We've got all these cut down to the line we made at 5.5 inches. We cut all the way through the bag, which is what you want. So now what you want to do is open up that bag, and we're going to completely open it up and stand up our bag, because this becomes the base of our tree, this very bottom part. So now, this is a little tricky. The first time I did it, I felt like maybe I was doing it wrong, but it feels kind of funny, but it will work. So now with the base, you're gonna kind of hold onto it, and we're gonna grab all of this bag down below all the little fringe that we cut. I'm gonna hold onto the base, and we're gonna twist. Kind of hold that base down a little bit, maybe on your flat surface if you have a table or workspace. And now we're gonna just twist the base of that bag. And now all of a sudden you're gonna see that logo that was on the front of the bag is now disappearing, because I'm twisting the base of that, and that's gonna become the trunk of our tree. And we probably won't even see it in there. And even if you do see a little bit of black lines, don't trees have darker colors and pieces in their trunk? They're not all exactly the same color. So if we see a little bit of it, that is going to be okay. Now, this looks pretty good. I've got the trunk twisted how I want it. Now, what you're going to do is grab 2 of these, and we're going to start just grabbing 2 of our long pieces that we cut and twist those together. Kind of go carefully, because they're a little more fragile than the trunk. You can't grab on as hard. You don't want to tear them. But if you do tear one of them off, that's okay, because trees' branches are lots of different lengths. Okay, so here we go. Let's keep going. We're going to grab 2 some on the other tree. I did 4 in some spots too, because again, some branches are thicker, longer. So you kind of make your tree look how you like. But at least probably grab 2 of the little strips when you're grabbing. 2 to 4 will be just right. I'm going to do 4 on this one. And we're just going to keep twisting and twisting until we get all of our branches made. And when you do, closer to 4 of the strips together, you get a nice thick, sturdy branch. 2 gives you kind of a nice little thinner branch. You decide how you like your tree to be, and it's going to come out just great. I'm going to do 4 right here again and make a nice thick one right up here towards the top. So you're just going to keep twisting, twisting. We're switching this paper bag back into what? Back to what it started as, right? Paper bags start as trees, don't they? They're made out of wood. All right, so here we go. It's kind of cool to turn it right back into what it started as. All right, I'm going to grab 4 here again and make a nice thick one. Twist it up. And the more you twist, the kind of different shapes you get with those branches. And that makes it fun too. Everybody's trees are going to look pretty unique. All right, let me do one more. And then I'll show you how we make the blossoms from the cherry blossom. And we're going to glue those on. So you will need some glue. There we go. I'm going to use a hot glue gun today just because it's quicker for me to demonstrate for you. But you could definitely use some white Elmer's glue or crafting glue, whatever you like to use when you are crafting for glue. Hot glue gun is fine too if you have an adult around that can help you, because, you know, I still burn myself every now and then, and that doesn't feel so good. So I don't want you getting burned on a hot glue gun. Don't use that unless you have an adult around to help you. All right, this is looking pretty good, right? This tree, I like it a little better. The trunk is longer on the new one I'm making. So that was the mistake I made on the first one. I measured to the bottom of the bag and cut halfway down, but that's okay. These two are gonna look cool together, because this one looks kind of like just an older tree that's been around a while. This one might look like a younger tree. I don't know. So now that you've got these all twisted up, we're just going to pretend these ones are ready to go, and I'll finish them later. You're going to take those 2 sheets of pink tissue paper, the 2 different colors. You've got the dark pink and the light pink, and we don't need a ton for this project, a ton of tissue paper, which is nice. You're just going to cut a small square. Again, does not have to be precise at all. So I just put the light pink on top of the dark pink, and I cut a square, and now they're the same size. So what I looked up, what do cherry blossoms actually look like? It's been a while, I couldn't remember. And they usually have a little bit of dark pink. Can you see that one? Right in the center of the blossom. Usually the outside is a lighter pink and the inside is a dark pink. I did make some of these darker pink because I think the buds kind of look like that when they're just in bud form. And then when they open up, they are kind of that light pink on the outside, dark pink. But you can do it any combination you want. I did some dark, some light, some combined. So if you combine some, I put the dark on the top, kind of folded it in half and grabbed the bottom. And then I just took all that tissue paper and twisted it up just like this, holding on to that bottom piece. And I have a pretty cool little cherry blossom ready to glue on. So that little pointed piece at the end that I was holding when I twisted, I'm going to just put a little bit of hot glue right there on that bottom. Doesn't take much, and so it won't take much either with your Elmer's glue. If you just put a little drop, what might be easy when you're crafting is if you have a little piece of paper that you can put a glob of glue on. That's what I like to do when I'm using Elmer's glue or white glue or crafting glue. Just put a little bit down on a piece of paper. Then you can dip these in to that paper with the glue on it and stick them straight on. And then you don't have to keep lifting up the glue bottle and putting it on. You can just dip in. So there is our very first cherry blossom on our tree. So some of the blossoms I did just pink too. So cut out a square and I did a single layer of pink, not the double layer. So you've got a lot of choices. You can do that double layer where there's 2, the dark and the light. You can just make 1 pink. Again, I kind of folded that little tissue square in half and grabbed the fold in the middle and then just twist around. And then you would take that and dip that into your Elmer's glue, or if you're going to use a hot glue gun, you can do it this way. I think I would like the Elmer's glue actually better because you know how hot glue guns are. They leave all those little strings, then you got to pick them all off later. There's one of our cherry blossom buds or flowers with just the light pinks. You can have your tree covered with all different combinations, and that's what I did on this one. That one's just solid dark pink. That one has the little bit of dark pink peeking out from light pink. I think this one, where's that one I did? Oh, this one I think I did all dark pink. And you could double them up if you like your blossom a little bit bigger, then cut 2 squares. But 1 to 2 little squares of paper. Let's do this one with 2 and make it a little leafier. Make it just a little bit bigger so you can have a whole bunch of varieties. And that's how trees are. If you're looking at them when they blossom, those blossoms aren't all exactly the same size or same colors. You're going to get a variety of the shades of colors in there. and sizes. Okay, that one's been doubled up. That looks pretty cool too right there. So now you're just gonna cover that with your beautiful tissue paper. Just keep going, keep cutting little squares, and just so you know the size of the squares, I am just eyeballing, but just so you know, they're probably about 1 inch wide, 1 inch by 1 inch. So you've got 1 inch square, inch on one side, inch on the other, which means 1 inch all the way around since it's a square. This one, I think I will put a little bit of dark pink in the middle. And these, like I said, you do not have to measure. If you want to and you love measuring, then you can measure them all out. I just wanted to kind of eyeball it. So they will be a little bit different sizes, and that gives variety in the little blossoms that I'm making too. So here we go. Let's put a little bit of glue on there, and let's add one right here. So I'm just going to keep going and going until I get this all covered. This one even I could put more on because you know how cherry blossom trees are. They're usually covered. This one I'm acting like it's blown off some of its blossoms that are down here. I glued some to the base of the tree, so it looks like some had fallen off naturally. So this one is in a different stage of losing some of those blossoms. This one I might want it to be covered, and that would be really cool too. So like I said, you could make these for each season, and it's just a paper bag, which makes a really cool tree. Look at that trunk. Pretty amazing. And it will stand up flat. I didn't put anything in the bottom. It's just going to stand up flat on your table or on your hand like I did. And there you go. So I hope you have fun with this Take and Make kit. Let us know how yours turned out. Take a picture of it. I would love to see what you make. So take a picture, post it here on our Facebook post. We also are putting all of our classes, the videos are going to be on YouTube as well. So if you want to go back and kind of go back through and see what classes we've done recently, jump on our YouTube channel, Eagle Public Library, and you're going to see all those great classes too. So I hope you have a lot of fun with your cherry blossom tree. I'm going to keep working on mine. See you next time. Bye-bye.